if you think of FUBA and who are the people that, who work in it and who are the heads and like the faces of FUBA, you don't typically think of a woman. You don't know, there's no, maybe there is, but not known as much as maybe she should be.
We have a FIBA woman commissioner, Joy Oringa.
Yes. But we need more names like that. We need
a FIBA woman commissioner.
Yes, we met her in Cairo. Yeah. Women, we can't be able to do certain things, you know? Yeah.
Oh, so that needs to be done. Interesting.
Even people are stuck in their own ways. For people who have had a chance to, say, work out of the country, you're dealing with people from different backgrounds, different cultures. Their view of the world is different. You know, you cannot change that. The best you can do is get into that space and find a way of navigating through that.
Okay.
So I don't believe that what I've learned necessarily is going to go.
People flying from this organization to another and says, man, the new boss was come.
Correct.
I can't stay there.
Absolutely.
And this happened.
Absolutely.
Is it they themselves who are a problem, those who are running away, or actually the bosses come and want to change everything? Have you ever been in an organization and people have viewed you like that? And if yes, how were you able to deal with it? If not, had you learned these tricks before going inside there so that when you arrived, you are more warmer to people than more, cold to other people?
Yeah, I think in most cases where, and we've seen this, even in Uganda, where a CEO comes and tries to change everything overnight and the organization suffers. You lose your talent, the good people leave the company, they go to other organizations, your numbers start going down. It's a no-brainer. The good ones are the ones who quickly realize, oh, this is different. I need to adapt. I mean, I always hear people who have worked in Tanzania. Tanzanians are different. The way they do things at their pace and how they
shift and move things,
relate among each other is very different.
Yes.
So if you come with your speed and and forcefulness, you'll get a culture shock. They'll edge you out slowly in their nice way. Before you know it, you've left the company. I remember earlier back in our breweries, we had similar people who used to come from South Africa at the time. Because Africa is obviously very fast-paced. It's about push. And a lot of them suffered. In fact, a time came when they said, you know what, this thing is not working. Let's empower now Ugandans. That's how we guys came through. Yeah.
Good afternoon. It is Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. My name is Felix
El Pal. It is a show where we discuss, analyze, and dissect everything that is about the game of basketball. And this particular afternoon, our special guest is Darlene Murungi Tashovia. I'm also with my co-host, Emmanuel Ateng. Darlene, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, and welcome to Slam Dunk Basketball Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Emma,
Yeah.
it has been quite an enormous and also victorious week for Uganda basketball.
Yeah.
Our under-15 team was able to win gold at the World Sports Championship down in Serbia.
Yeah, I think it was a good thing.
As the assistant captain of the Junior Gazelles, making it out of the group stages after a bad, what I would call actually a bad and terrible start. How was it to our viewers out there? We are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and also on our website, houseoftalentug.com. Put there your comments, your remarks, your reviews, and any other comments that you may feel like we will be sharing them in the later part of the show.
After the after the loss against Mali, we had to stay motivated because we couldn't let that determine how the whole tournament was going to be. So right after the game in the bus, we talked about it, and the next day we had a team meeting. We looked at our stats and with our coaches, of course, and we found the areas that needed to be improved. And when we went for practice, we improved that, and our next game was victorious.
And your journey as a basketball player, getting to love this game, enlighten us and give us some of those dynamics. I'm sure Emma is itching to want to sign you to Angels basketball team, which he coaches.
I already have it in my mind.
He's itching to have your signature to sign you. So to our viewers out there, just give us your journey in the game of basketball.
Well, I started playing when I was 10. I went for Excel. It was a basketball academy, and I just fell in love with the game, but I stopped playing and I started playing netball, so I stopped basketball completely. Maybe camp here.
You shifted from basketball to netball.
Yeah. And I competed, and then I stopped and I started basketball again, which was kind of hard because the only thing I could remember to do was shoot because of the muscle memory, of course. But learning to dribble, play defense, it was a process, but it was worthwhile.
Interesting here. Already on my WhatsApp, I have someone texting me, Victoria Antari. She's saying that shouts out to Darlene, product of iHoops.
Yes. I've been going to iHoops for ever since Excel stopped, because it stopped having camps. I started going to iHoops. I've been to maybe 7 camps.
iHoops camps?
Yes. And I
so
also,
that is how you know that people are already watching. They're eager to know. I didn't know that you're actually a product of iHoops.
and I actually still go sometimes if I can, if I don't have school. And yeah, it's good competition. It's fun, and I think everyone should go. It's a good experience.
To the coach who coaches the ladies team, I don't know what questions he has out for you.
No, when you talk about how you switched over from basketball to netball, I've worked under your dad. He was my manager, Warriors basketball. So what was his reaction, you switching from basketball to netball? Because him being a basketballer, did he accept you? Was it more of you have to play basketball, or what was that switch like for you?
Funny story is I didn't actually want to play netball. I wanted to play soccer because it was a competition we're going for. So they told us 2 years in advance, and you pick a sport and you do it, and then So I wanted to play soccer, but he said, if you have to choose between soccer and netball, netball will probably help you in basketball, so why not pick that instead of soccer?
That's interesting. So he was talking about the under-16 tournament that you guys played in, obviously coming off a loss to Mali, then rallying up and going for the later stages. If you're to compare Ugandan basketball with, let's say, basketball from Egypt, basketball from Mali, where would you rate Uganda?
Compared to Mali and Egypt, I think we're not at their level yet, but I know we can be because their preparation is very thorough and they really do invest in the youth basketball and take their time to nurture the teams that are coming for the tournaments. So in that area we're lacking because we have the talent, but the preparation for the tournaments is what needs to be worked on.
So we basically have the skill and the talent.
Yeah.
We just need to prepare better. Interesting.
And making it out of the group stages, how was that? There was a lot of negative talk on social media. How you as assistant captain and the captain, you are the two leaders of the team. How did you handle that amongst the whole group?
There was a time we were having dinner the day we lost to Mali, and we're going through the FUBA page and we're looking at the comments on the post of our loss, and while talking about it, and everyone on the table was getting worked up, and our coach Mavita, and our coach Rogers, came up to us and told us to stop throughout this whole tournament to leave social media and that whole space, because it won't help us, it won't motivate us. If it's not anything positive, we shouldn't put it in. We should just cancel it out and play our game.
So you were off social media during that particular time?
Yes, but when we did watch, like when we were watching the boys' games, the live streams, because we usually wouldn't go to watch, we would see the comments of the games and
the various people, the fans, stakeholders,
and it was horrible, bro, because I just couldn't believe people who aren't actually playing were just saying all these things. But
how are you able to bottle it up? How are you able to handle all of that negative sentiments which were being thrown all over? And you know that people are reading them, the online, here, down in Uganda, in wherever they are.
Well, at first, we were doubting ourselves. We're like, can we really do this? Maybe they are right. Maybe what they're saying is true, that we aren't good enough to be here. They shouldn't have sent us. But I really would like to thank our coaches, because they talk to us and they let us know that, hey, you're better than this, and don't let these comments get to your head. And also, our captain, she's a really good leader, and when she saw that we were being, when the comments were getting to us, she talked to us, and she really motivated us to be better than them.
I remember we had a discussion here about Priscilla,
the captain,
Priscilla Nambogo.
I was about to ask.
Having a heart of David versus Goliath. And Emma, as someone who handles a ladies team, what advice in that particular situation would you have given Darlene if you were the one handling our junior gazelles?
First of all,
losing their first game to a blowout margin, and then they have another game, and then social media and everything is actually shooting arrows at them. How would you have gone about it?
First of all, I remember watching that game actually here. It was a Saturday, right?
Yes, it was a Saturday.
And before the game, you asked me who was going to win. I said Uganda, and I was sticking to my guns. I was like, Uganda. But at halftime, the scores were like, yo, this is just... this is crazy.
Only 2 points.
Yeah, it was just
actually
2 points.
20 minutes.
Yeah. And basically, the comments were just going off on Facebook, on Instagram. And if I was a coach in that situation, basically coming off a loss, basketball is a win and a losing game. Okay, one team has to win, one team has to lose. Okay, so you sit down your players and you tell them, listen, this is what happened in the first game. Okay, but that does not take away your skill, your talent as a basketballer. That cannot leave you. Okay, for the work you've been putting in. Okay, you can always do better. Maybe the other team prepared a bit more. Maybe they had better players, a better structure, whatever it is. Okay, but you can't live in the past. Take the loss and let's prepare for the next game. Okay, that's basically what I tell them. Losing is part of basketball, right? It's how you come back from a loss that matters. If you decide to say, you know, I've lost the first game, let's just go and lose the whole tournament, actually no use for you to be there, you know. But I like the way you guys actually bounced back into the other games. It was pretty amazing, yeah. So don't live in the past, basically. Work for what's coming forward.
Talking about moving forward, how are you moving forward in terms of basketball?
Well, I've been training every day. I train with my coach, Coach Omo, and
Where do you train from?
at home.
Oh,
Yes.
so you have a hoop at home.
Yes.
Most parents actually should actually get hoops at home.
I
I don't
feel-
have
no.
Emma, do you have a hoop at home?
No. But if Tashobia didn't have a hoop at home, would also say a lot. Yeah.
Oh, continue going.
I think to better prepare myself, I need to start playing more with people and the whole team dynamic, because that's an area I think I'm weak at when it comes to playing in an actual team, because I trained a lot by myself, and that isn't really helpful when you have to actually play with 4 other people on court. Yeah, so right now I'm just looking for a way to be able to play, because now with the whole COVID situation it's a bit tricky. But yeah, that's the status right now.
So you train at home, but you don't have like teams that you're training with.
Yeah, not
In
yet.
terms of locally here, you haven't featured for any of the local teams.
No.
Yes. Tell me, which team would you want to actually play with, or join, or be a part of, or which team do you actually admire and like, I think I should play with this particular bunch of players?
For the teams I admire, KCCA, JKL, UCU,
Basically the top 3.
the top 3, but also Nabisunsa, because a lot of our players are from.
They're not doing very well.
Yeah, but every time they come, they play, and even if they beat them,
they put up a very good fight.
yeah, even if they beat them 2-90, they'll still come back for the next game motivated and ready to give their best, and that's very admirable.
Oh, so you'd wish to play with Nabisunsa?
No. But I admire their work
You
ethic.
admire how they play. You admire
Yeah.
how Nabisunsa play.
Yes.
Okay. And which team would you wish to play with? You mentioned the top 3. You mentioned JKL. You mentioned UCU Lady Cannons. You mentioned KCCA Leopards. She's taking a peek. She's taking a peek.
But before you think about it, you should think about Angels basketball.
Yes, I
We have
have.
Tony Drileba, national
Yeah.
team player, as one of the coaches. So
Yeah.
He
trained us at
on
Ivy.
this, but his team is losing. Falcons is not doing well.
I know a few people in Angels actually, and yeah, I would want
yeah,
to.
Peace
join.
is actually
yeah.
there. Yeah,
Peace and Martha, right?
yeah, Peace Martha is there.
Yeah, I would join Angels.
So, you train alone at home. Why wouldn't you invite some of the national team players that you are with to come and actually train with you, or have a drill out?
We have pickups sometimes. We
Okay.
come and play together, but I also live very far. I live out of town, so maybe that would be hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I live in Leboa, so it's a bit far, and I do have friends that live near me, so we train together sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, so you train together sometimes. Emma, what should be done? The league is meant to be resuming. I don't know what plans Angels basketball ladies team has in place. Enlighten our viewers. Remember, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on our on our YouTube channel. Feel free to put your remarks, your comments, your questions. Our special guest today is Darlene Murungi Tashobia, the assistant captain to the Junior Gazelles.
Yeah, I think first line of business would be to sign Darlene. That would be a good thing. Think about it. Yeah, but league is supposed to resume. Angels basketball never stop practicing. We always practice. Yeah, so we have 3 sessions: Tuesday, Thursday. We have skill sessions. Then on Sundays, we have 3-on-3 tournaments, like internal tournaments, plus 5-on-5 internal tournaments. Basically, to keep the girls in playing shape, because you don't want there to be a long gap. Then they tell you the league is beginning and you have to prepare in 3 weeks. You know, that would be kind of hard. So we've kept them basically in playing condition. Yeah. So even if the league resumed tomorrow, it would be good to go because the girls are really prepared. Just a few things here and there, you know, get to remember the plays, you know, get to, you know, run a bit. But apart from that, the girls are ready to play. And if the league resumes, we're good to go.
It is Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. My name is Felix Eopal. We'll be returning after this short break with your comments, your reviews, and your remarks. A lot has been happening in the game of basketball. First of all, as Slam Dunk Basketball, we would like to first thank the Silverbacks for doing the nation proud and for making it to the first time in the quarterfinals of the Afro Basketball Championship down in Kigali. It was a tough task, and history was made when the Silverbacks, our boys, were able to beat on Nigeria. Welcome back to the second part of Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. My name is Felix Eopal. Our special guest today is Darlene Murungi Tashovia, the assistant captain of the Junior Gazelles. And I am also with my co-host, Emmanuel Teng. Darlene, tell us about the fun parts of Nairobi, off court. What was interesting? You know, there's lots of activity that happens off court and the excitement and everything. What was it like?
It was interesting because you got to meet a lot of people, talking to the coaches and asking them about their stories and their history with sports. It was really good, you know, and just maybe doing activities with the team, because we did a lot of basketball, but we also did a lot of team building sessions, yeah.
In these team building sessions, what was actually going on?
Well, sometimes we'd play games, like before in the morning we'd play games to kind of loosen up the nerves, because the first day everyone was so tense. So we did a bit of games and also, you know, just interacting, talking, sharing each other's stories, you know, getting to know each other. Yeah.
So it was like a great team bonding.
Yeah.
Ah, that's interesting. Angels Basketball Club should actually pick a leaf and...
I think we're the only team in the league that does these things. Bonding
the only
sessions.
team in the league that does... Angels Basketball team does bonding sessions.
Yeah, we have cake sessions, we have juice sessions,
Well,
I
outings,
understand all these things.
At the start of the season, Power Basketball team had a bonding session, which was a retreat, but it ended up in a 5-game losing streak.
That happens. Yeah.
So I'm wondering the sessions that Angels is doing.
Our sessions are really good because we actually have a hashtag that we beyond the game. Most of the teams just focus on what's happening on the basketball court. But basically, basketball, I believe 50% of basketball is what's happening off the court. Because if I have a player who's not okay emotionally, maybe spiritually, whatever it is, they won't give me 100% on the court. But if I can take care of them off the court, you know, give them small incentives, a party here, a party there, cake sessions here and there, basically let them know that they're part of the team, let them know that they're loved. Then such a player is going to give me 100% on the court, yeah? So we do those things at Angels. For anyone watching out there, yeah, join Angels Basketball Club.
Well, Angels is actually trying to do some very good things that should be happening out there. Darlene, still, moving forward, do you aspire to play further or do you want to take a different direction? You said that previously you played, then you went into netball, then actually had to make another turn back. So tell the viewers out there what it is that you may want or desire in terms of sports.
In terms of sports, I still would want to play. Like at a national level, I want to play on the senior Gazelles team, and I also want to play college basketball, and maybe play in the EuroLeague. But
Oh.
I do want to come back and improve basketball in Uganda because there's so much potential here, and if I go and play for France, that doesn't really help me or help my country because they're not improving in any way. So yeah.
Oh, so you have aspirations of actually playing in the EuroLeague, in
Yeah.
our national league, and
Yeah.
also improving the game of basketball. Emma, very, very, very good
Yeah.
intentions and a very good roadmap
Yeah.
that is from our assistant captain
Yeah.
of the Junior Gazelles.
Yeah, but what I would like to ask, so you want to improve Claire Lamuno.
Mm.
Yeah, I think one of the best players we have in the country now. She's doing a project, I think, that will be released soon. She's building a couple of courts up in Gulu. So you've seen basketball outside Uganda. You went to the FIBA youth camp just a week ago, I think. You've been at the under 16. You've played with international players and all these things. So what are some of those things that we are not doing as Uganda, that teams are doing outside there, that different organizations are doing outside there, that we can basically copy, yeah, or start doing to make youth basketball basically better?
One of the things that really needs to be done is just investing, because investing in the youth and being deliberate and cautious about it, because when we're going to Cairo, we only had 3 days of training before.
3 days.
3 days as a team to train. They just
Okay.
told us we're going to ABU and you're going to train. So
It's very minimal.
yeah, very minimal. And also maybe looking for talent everywhere, like how Claire is building courts in Gulu.
Gulu.
Yes, that's nurturing a lot of talent that usually you wouldn't be able to find if you didn't make steps like that to actually do it. So more things like that, and also we need to have parents believing in their children, you know, understanding that you can balance education and basketball and they can coexist and you can be good at both, you know. And yeah, just keep just believing in the sport and what it can do for people.
That's quite interesting. One of the comments here, actually, which has also been repeated by a number of people, is there was the Nairobi camp, Africa Youth camp was for boys.
Yeah.
Only the host nation
Yeah.
was allowed to have
Yeah.
a girls team. Have someone here called called Victoria Moreme, yes, asking how was she able to get into the camp, yet it was only for the host nation.
Well, I was only able to get into the camp because not me, but my dad made a request and asked if he could sponsor me to go, because he knew it would be a good opportunity. And I'm very blessed to be able to do things like that because he does work in FIBA. And so he asked if I could go and he would sponsor me and pay for the flight there and everything, just for the exposure. So when I went, I knew I couldn't be mediocre. I had to give my best because already I wasn't budgeted for, to say the least. So yeah, it wasn't like they only picked me like I was special in any sense. No, I got the opportunity because my dad, he knew the right people, to say the least, and you know, I had to take advantage of I took the advantage of the opportunity.
Impressive. You were lucky. There was an opportunity. There was also the chance. There were also the resources, and most importantly, when you went down there, you actually displayed your best. You gave it your all, and you were able to make the top 5.
Yes.
Emma, what does that say about the other talent, the other girls out there who might not have that exact opportunity, chance, or resource?
The thing I know about basketball, there's a saying that preparation, when you prepare, okay, equals opportunity. So when opportunity comes and finds you prepared, it clicks, okay? She's been practicing basketball since she was 10, played on the under 16. So it's not a surprise that she actually went for that camp. Even if your dad knew a few people here and there, but still your skill took you there, your talent took you there. And for the girls out there, I know it's a very hard thing for girls to basically prepare by themselves, to work out by themselves. It takes a very high level of discipline. They always need people running behind them, pushing them here and there. And when opportunity comes and they're not ready, you can't make it anywhere. Yeah. So for the girls out there, push yourselves. I know there's a lot of boys right now on the basketball court. The Matthew Kisaches, the under 6. These guys are always practicing. Yeah. And you can see the fruits
in the
of
morning, and the only thing is basketball.
Yeah. And you can see the fruits of their labor, winning gold at the ISF. So for the girls out there, don't wait to be pushed. Don't wait for a coach to tell you to get onto the basketball court. Prepare, because you never know what opportunity is coming. These days, the NBA has a lot of camps that are coming up. I believe that the FIBA Youth Camp is going to be a yearly thing. So next year might be another girl's opportunity. All right. But if she's not ready for it, then that's another issue. So yeah, the girls should prepare, get ready for what's coming. And I think nowadays they actually have time, because most of the girls are not in school with this whole lockdown and corona situation. So they should use this time to better improve themselves, as basketballers. Yeah.
The images that you've been seeing there are of Darlene Murungi Tashobia in action, which are actually on the screen at the moment as I speak. And for the viewers out there on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and on our website, houseoftalentug.com, the FIBA Africa Camp that just was concluded in Nairobi is the inaugural session. It is the first of its kind, and it is going to be continuing, and it's also continuing in other countries. It is in actually Senegal, and later in next year, NBA is going to be coming on board for that camp. This was what you'd call the litmus test of it, to see how it is going to happen. Unfortunately, our boys were not able to make it to the final cut, but we have one of our very own assistant captain of the Junior Gazelles who made it to that particular camp. So that is how the dynamics of that work. And for the World Sports Championship, it is a championship that has been ongoing, and the requests are sent to FUBA to actually select players who should be going down, who they believe have the right athleticism, the right skills to actually make part of it. However, Emma, the ironic bit about this is that the federation was actually sitting duck in all this. The federation did not do anything, and it is the parents and other well-wishers of the selected players who actually came up to ensure that the trip happens to Serbia and back. The boys will be returning, for our viewers, next week. They will be returning on Monday. Now, what does that say of a federation and of a FUBA president, Mr. Nasser Seronjoji, whose speech and chorus has been grassroots development of the game of basketball?
Well, I think we should say that most of the money was used for the Silverbacks down in Kigali.
The money lender is still owing us.
Yeah, but I mean, we've reached a point in basketball where if the federation can't help you, someone else has to. And I'm thankful to parents, like Mr. Tashobia and the other parents who, took a step forward to sponsor these kids to go, and live their dreams, basically achieve their dreams. Because I mean, if you keep working out and then there's nothing to show for it, it's a hard thing. You can lose motivation. But if there are parents that are stepping in to sponsor these kids and take them out to different places, have them explore their talent, it's a good thing. As for FUBA, FUBA always has financial problems.
It has always been the case. You can see the images right there on your screen.
Those are for the NBA Youth Camp.
Yes, and you can see our champions there who are returning next week. They won gold in Serbia, World School Sports Championship 3-on-3. Yeah, Coach Jonathan Egau. We will be hosting them very soon here at Slam Dunk Basketball. The entire crew will be down here. That is the team when they were down in Nairobi. You can see them with Coach Ronnie Mutebi and Coach Smiths.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, if we have more of these camps, I want one of these camps to come down to Uganda, actually, because it will give an opportunity to more of the kids down in Uganda.
Where are you going to host the camp from? If it is here in Uganda?
The ABU.
The indoor arena is off bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, by NCS.
Yeah.
So where is the camp going to be?
I mean, we can always renovate. We have courts in Makerere University. UCU has
Pool
good
court.
courts.
Pool court is not in a situation where David is also actually laughing about it. Is pool court in shape of actually being able to host anything concerning a camp or an international engagement? As Adam says it all.
Yeah,
You've been to pool court, darling.
Yes.
You've played pickup there?
She played a tournament there.
Yeah.
No, she played the tournament.
Yeah.
I'm meaning pickup.
No, yeah. That's like a jungle. It's
You don't want to go into the elbow section whereby fouling is legal.
Yeah. But it's also very far.
Huh?
It's far from where
Who said you stay on the other side?
yeah.
The courts the other side, how is it there when pickup is there? Is it the same as the courts this side? Pool court, main ground, what's it called? YMCA, Makerere University Business School, MOOBS, Kabira, KIU. Is the pickup also that intense? Whereby fouling is legal?
I think where I used to play pickup, I used to play at Therese Life. It's near our house. It was more organized than a lot of places because there's like a coach who refs because they first train and they play. So it's more organized, but it's still a bit brutal. You can't be flimsy and go and expect to just get an easy 3 or something. Yeah, yeah.
I like her use of diction. It is brutal. Why is it that at pickup, to our viewers out there watching us here in Uganda and in the diaspora, pickup is basketball terminology whereby you go on court and you actually divide yourselves among a bunch of players. It might be 3 against 3 or 4 against 4 or 5 against 5, and then you play a fun game whereby you set a certain limit of who wins the game. It might be who scores the first 5 baskets wins, or who scores the first 7 baskets wins. So in basketball terminology, that is what we define as pickup.
I like how you said a fun game. In some places it's not a fun game.
Yeah, some places it's not fun.
Yeah, like at pool court, it's not fun. We're trying to win.
But there's no prize at the end of the day.
No, the prize is bragging rights.
Yeah,
we get
pride.
to go home with the bragging rights here.
It is Slam Dunk Basketball. When we return, we talk about the league actually not resuming, which is very sad for the basketball lovers and stakeholders out there, but the lower league division will be resuming. Your comments, your reviews, please send them in. We'll return after this short break.
People at the moment are struggling to understand the older generation because times have changed. Technology has come in.
They've moved on.
Yes.
We're the ones sitting back and wondering, what is my child on to? TikTok has surpassed WhatsApp. The other one I call, I never call it Facebook, it's Bookface. Why are you on Bookface? Dad, it's Facebook.
Yes.
Me, I keep saying, I have a foot amongst the millennials.
Yeah.
And I understand the traditionalists.
Okay.
There's a song in the 60s, by the way, and in the 90s, 70s, where they're like, parents don't understand. Yes. Remember Prince? Yes. Prince.
One game, one sport, brotherhood, and when you go out there and you put out your hearts and you play great, yes.
I like that East African basketball has really grown, you know, represented by Uganda, South Sudan, by Rwanda, and by Kenya. I know Tanzania is still lagging behind a bit, and Burundi is yet to come, but, you know, having 4 of these teams from East Africa making it all the way, to the second round is a very good thing. It shows that there's positivity, in African basketball. It's really growing.
And in the region,
yes,
mostly.
in the region. That is what we need to see. I think in no time we're going to have a lot of players, in the NBA, playing in other leagues. And FUBA, we should really pick a leaf from what, Ferroaba has done. And like you said, let's break it down, rebuild it.
Yeah, but in my view, it's not about just taking out the carpet so that you can sweep the dust there. Yeah. We shouldn't actually pick a leaf from Ferroaba. We should take a tree. We should take the entire tree.
With its roots.
Yes. Welcome back. It is the final segment of Slam Dunk Basketball Talk. Our special guest today is Darlene Murungi Tashobya, as I already introduced her. We've been having quite an interesting talk about the various developments that have been happening in Ugandan basketball, the journey down in Nairobi, and also our championship. Uganda won gold at the World Sports Championship down in Serbia. Although, Emma, something which is actually not interesting, which actually we have always discussed about, our level of preparation and how the boys got there. Yeah. Speaking to Coach Nicholas Natoreza, also the technical director of the Federation of Uganda Basketball Association, FUBA, he tells me the players were selected and had a 1-week training at Fusion Sports. Yeah. And after that, they selected the coaches. And after selection, there was a short list, and finally, Jonathan Egau was the man selected as head coach. Yeah. For the ladies, for the girls who went down in Nairobi, it was not actually the work of the federation. Although the federation wants to take credit for that, which actually is rather absurd. Yeah. The selection was based on FIBA. The boys went on a different assessment, and so did the coaches, because they were going through trainings. And finally, Coach Ronnie Muteli was selected amongst all the coaches that were able to submit their papers from the coaches of Uganda. And my question, which actually I'm putting out to the VP Marketing, I believe he's always watching. VP Marketing, Anud Katabi, in charge of marketing and advertising and publicity of the Federation. All this information is not churned out. As media, we get backsided and we have to actually hunt for this information. How can we make this better? We are in a situation whereby the National Basketball League is not going to resume. It's going to resume next year. Now, how can we put our house in order?
Well, when it comes to publicity, I always like what the Americans do with their players. From the time a player is in middle school, okay, they already telling us that the next big thing is coming. Yeah, so they put out their players there. They publicize not only the players but everything that happens. When you mention basketball, what's the first league that comes to your head? NBA, right?
NBA.
Then the WNBA, then Euro somewhere there. Okay, so they've done a lot when it comes to publicity, which we're not doing here. I mean, we hardly got any information of what happened down with the Silverbacks in Kigali. We're getting half information about the hotel.
We're getting snippets
of information.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's not a good way to do things. The basketball fans, whichever stakeholders there in basketball, really need to get information on what's happening. Okay, with every category, be it the under 16, be it the Lady Gazelles, be it the national team. We need information as people, because with that information, that's how we're going to know which of our players we need to take for different camps. Okay, we need to know what kind of improvements the players are doing and all these things. So, to Arnold, Mr. Katabi, don't hide from the people. The people need to know what's happening. I think up to now, the FUBA website is not really up.
FUBA website is not up.
Yeah.
It's up, but it's dormant.
Okay, it's up, but it's dormant. So
basically, you actually conclude that it is when you go to physics laws, it is no work done.
Yeah. So if I wanted to get to know the under 16 players in Uganda, okay, let's say I'm a FIBA scout, so I go to the FUBA website and it's not there.
Yeah, let's say I need video of Darlene, I need video of another player, I need video of Priscilla.
And it's not there. Yeah. So they lose that opportunity because that information is not made public. So I think, apart from just playing the game of basketball, there are all these other dynamics that you have to look at. And publicity these days with the social media now, okay? That's one of the things that FUBA has to put out there, okay? Especially for the young ones, okay? For the older players, I mean, we can always find ways of doing it. But for the young players, for them to get opportunity, we need to put them out there. Let them be visible. Let me go on the internet, search for Darlene and, find she has been at this camp, that camp, these are, the things she's doing.
Highlights, these are her statistics.
Yeah. And as someone, let's say from FIBA, from the NBA, from WNBA, it would be easier for me to pick a player like that. But if I have no idea who they are and what they're doing, it's always a hard thing.
Darlene, so many things have been mentioned world over concerning ladies basketball. And here in Uganda, it is the same story. Ladies basketball is not up there as men's basketball. You said at the start of the show, you would love to also come into administration of basketball after being a player, or also helping out to develop the ladies game. What do you think should be done in your view?
I think there should be there needs to be more leadership where ladies are actively appreciated, because if you think of FUBA and who the people that who work in it and who are the heads and like the faces of FUBA, you don't typically think of a woman. You don't know, there's no, maybe there is, but not known as much as maybe she should be.
We have a FIBA woman commissioner, Joy Oringa.
Yes. But we need more names like that. We need
a FIBA woman commissioner.
Yes, we met her in Cairo. Yeah. She's a great person. And we need more people like that, more people with influence being in power, because the more people do that, the more the younger generation gets inspired and actually believes they can. Because if you only see men in power, and then you become accustomed to it, and like that position only men can get into it, or it's not attainable for me because I'm a woman. And also we need to have more belief in ourselves and our skill, and also not believe the norm that that our gender can't, because we're women, we can't be able to do certain things, Yeah.
Oh, so that needs to be done. Interesting things here. I have someone here by Seka Jaroni asking what was the most annoying thing about the tournament. My sister was on that team.
Which, I
think that would be the under 16.
So, Well, their views from the viewers' remarks. What was the most annoying thing? And,
Apart from the loss, to Mali.
leave the loss alone and everything.
That's a tough question.
It's really a tough question. Definitely, every time there's someone who could be on the team and you just say, this person is always annoying, this person is always speaking my stuff, this person is...
So I went for when I played for the under 18. So they always give breakfast, right? And the breakfast is like full course meal. So
Self-service.
one of the coaches like, you guys shouldn't eat that much because we're going for a game and we went and lost the games. You know, minds are like, we should have eaten.
The whole food.
Yeah. So for me, that was one of the annoying things that happened that time. Yeah.
So, Darlene, enlighten us. What were those annoying moments? Don't worry, the coach is not here.
This is tough, but maybe if what we would do.
Those annoying moments of what?
We would do trainings, in Cairo, and sometimes I fell victim to this though. We would do this one particular drill, and it was just running the lanes and how to transition from defense to offense, and we did that thing every time, and there would always be someone, and one time it was actually me who didn't know where I was supposed to be, and then would keep doing it, and then they would shout at us, you know. That was just one of the things that, yeah, if I had to point out anything.
And back when you went back to the hotel, who is that player that just kept the entire group happy? So is that player who is like the comical person in the entire group?
Must be Priscilla.
Yeah, it was Priscilla. I think the majority of our players.
Who the player that always looked at everything as though, no, it's a simple situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't
Mariam.
sweat about it.
Mariam, yeah, she was that person, I would say. Also, Sarah, Namale, Priscilla, of course. I think everyone was just so, no one was like, you know, that serious person. They go to their room, they sleep, they come back, and they're only training. Everyone was, you know, interactive, light-hearted. Yeah, so.
Priscilla always, the few games that I watched at KIU courts, whenever Nemsonsa was playing, she always says this thing, Tuba Sobola.
Yeah.
Was that the attitude that she still had down there?
Yeah.
Tuba Sobola.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to, because already when we got into the tournament, that loss, we played the first game of the tournament and they beat us 90-12. We couldn't be the team, we couldn't stay being the team that just was like the beatable team, because, you know, in every tournament they have to be.
Everyone was like, this is the team where I'm going to pick points
from. Get that 2 points from our win. So, you know, we needed to have someone like Priscilla, who was always ready to encourage us, you know, be a captain. Yeah.
Lead the ship.
Yeah, lead the ship.
Emma, as we're getting to the final part and closure of the show, the National Basketball League is actually in balance.
Yeah.
JKL, JKL, KIU Titans, and City Oilers are not willing to resume. NASA Serunjiji FUBA president put out a letter cancelling the resuming beg your pardon to our viewers, the resuming of the National Basketball League.
Yeah.
Because teams are required to pay 600,000 shillings to restart, and a bare minimum of 8 teams had to register by Monday of this week.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. So the NBL was cancelled. The lower division will go on.
Yeah.
Speaking to the chairman and president of City Oil basketball team, Muhammad Santur, his reasoning, according to the committee that runs the team, is they have BAL coming on, that is the Basketball Africa League, and then we also have, as a nation, Silverbacks, we have the World Cup qualifiers, which are coming also at the end of November. Yeah? And 4 of the players on his team, that is Jimmy Enabu, Tony Dweliba, James Okelo,
and Ben Komakech are on the local best players who are on the national team.
Yeah.
Where does that put our league? I believe Falcons should be happy. The league is not starting. You have survived relegation. Congratulations.
No, first of all, we're not going to be relegated. Yeah. I can't say I'm a prophet, but remember I told you that this league will not resume. Yeah. Citing first of all the 600K the guys had to pay, then the tests for COVID, then paying your players, and some people.
The 600,000 was meant to cater for the tests according to FUBA. If a team paid the 600,000 shillings,
Yeah.
FUBA will do the testing for the teams
Yeah, but that would be once.
every before a game.
Yeah.
That is what was in writing.
Yeah, but we both know that wouldn't happen. Yeah, so it was a tricky situation for certain teams. So the league not resuming, we could say it's been almost 2 years that we've had a very shaky league, and other nations have moved on. Rwanda moved on, Kenya moved on. People are actually playing with the whole situation of COVID and lockdown, and to know that Uganda is not really that engaged in basketball is kind of terrifying, because what happens to the younger players who are supposed to come up, and play in the league? We also have young players now. The Nabisunsa team are in the top league. So what happens to them? They're not playing anymore. Yeah. What happens to those other young players who have just joined the bigger teams?
And it's also very frustrating for the other teams, because other teams are ready to play.
Yeah.
Coach Nicholas Natareza was telling me they are ready to play, even if they tell them the game is tomorrow.
Yeah.
He told me, my boys have been training, my girls have been training.
Yeah.
We have been training down at campus.
Yeah.
We are good to go, as long as the federation says fixtures out. But the fixture is already out. Why would they have to make another fixture? Those are the questions whereby you, Nasa Serionjoji, Hudson Sega Moinge, the General Secretary, and Arnold Katabi need to put their house in order.
Yeah.
The fixture was already out. Teams know which games they are supposed to play. Why do you still have to reshuffle them?
Okay, this is what I think should happen. Okay, we have 7 teams that are confirmed to play for the men, and the ladies, I'm not sure how many. So why not just hold the tournament?
No,
At
the
least to keep
ladies
guys
teams
engaged.
all confirmed they're willing to play.
Yeah, so if all the ladies teams confirmed,
None of the ladies teams pulled out.
so the ladies team should continue with the league as is. For the 7 teams of the men that actually confirmed to play, why not just hold a tournament, so that at least we have some basketball engagement happening before the year ends, because we don't know what's going to happen next year. Would be in the same situation or not. So let's have some basketball going on. I mean, there's always a plan B to everything. So how about we move to plan B and get these people engaged? Let the guys play. Yeah.
Darlene, as we wind up Slam Dunk Basketball Talk this particular afternoon, there's so many people watching you out there. There are so many of your peers, your friends. There's so many girls who may not be live at the moment but will watch you later. What inspiration or words of advice can you give them as we wind up?
To believe in yourself and believe in your skill and your potential to be a good player, because I know there were times when I didn't think I could do it and I wanted to give up, but then my dad, he was there, he pushed me, he would wake me up for training in the morning. When the last day before I had, shots weren't dropping. You just need to have, and you need to have that self-drive, but you also need to have support. So seek for support from your parents. Don't be shy to bring up the idea of, can I go for training today? Or maybe can I get a basketball and be dribbling? Because you need to be able to not make excuses for yourself. That's a thing that a lot of people subconsciously do. They're like, well, I don't have a court at home, so I can't do anything. But you can get a basketball and learn to dribble, Then when you actually are able to access a court, you'll have a starting point, And also to, just if you love something, give it your all. Because I know there was a time when I played basketball, but I didn't love it, so I was just going with the flow, not really. I didn't have any sense of direction. I didn't have any goal. But when I started setting goals for myself and actively trying to reach them, that's when I actually started seeing results, like with the national team. I set that as a goal, and it paid off when I got to play, and also the Kenya camp. because the second I came back from Cairo, you know, I was sleeping one morning, I had slept, would come back, it was the second day we'd been back. I hear a knock at my door, it's my dad. Get up, coach is coming in 30 minutes, be ready. You know, you have to be able to do that for yourself or have someone who's willing to do that for you. And you know, just look for opportunities to play. I know there's like a lot of people who can't, you know, it's not as simple as just waking up, you know, getting a driver to take you somewhere. But you know, look around, maybe your area, there's like a place you can go for pickup. Maybe you can borrow someone's ball, you know, just, if you want it enough, you'll be able to put in the work. Yeah.
So finally, your best moment and your lowest moment at the tournament, Emma, I think that is fair enough as a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Best moment at the tournament or the youth camp and your lowest moment, and we wrap it up. Or even also, you can say hi to perhaps your best friend.
My best moment, let's start with that, was our game against Egypt in the semis. I was a top scorer that game, and that was the first game where I felt like I actually showed.
You hustle played.
Yeah, where I actually showed my skill. Because the other games, it was like I was there, but you know, I was just like another player, and it was like my time to shine, I guess, in that game. Even though we lost, but you know I played well. My lowest moment was probably our first game against Mali, because psychologically that took a toll. Like losing 92-12 it does something to you, you know. And also our loss against Algeria in the semis, because when we wanted third place and then we just lost by 2 points, and the game before we'd also lost by 2 points. And you know, you just keep thinking about the shot you didn't make in the game, what difference it could have.
If that had dropped, it would have been a different story.
Yeah, and I don't think I gave my best in that game. I didn't rise to the challenge when it came to understanding how serious it was to get that position for our country and for me as an individual and as a team. So that was definitely my lowest. Yeah.
Emma, your last word as we wrap this up.
I'd just like to talk, she was talking about the parents. We have parents out there who, you know, parents have this thing of, you know, you can't balance books and basketball. Yeah, but I think it's something that can be balanced. She's doing it, I've done it before. And so to the parents out there, encourage your kids. It might not even be basketball, you know, it could be any sport, anything your kid loves. Don't take it away from them. They can balance that with the books that they're doing. So encourage the kids, push them, because like the Bible says, you'll never know what will work out for you. The basketball might work out, the books might not, okay? Both might work out. So for the parents out there, push the kids, let them get to a place where, you know, they're the best of what they can be. Yeah.
My name is Felix Opal. It has been Slam Dunk Basketball. To the basketball lovers out there, unfortunately, the National Basketball League at the moment is not going to be ongoing or restarting because the teams were not able to make quorum. Our special guest this particular afternoon has been Darlene Murungi Tashobia and my co-host Emmanuel Ateng. Thank you so much. Catch you next time.